sweating. Wanna see my boob sweat? Oh my god, boobs. Boobs! Anyways, just wanted y'all to know that the reason I have a personality is because I'm traumatized and homeless. But all of that was a choice, you know? Whether, actually, no, all of that was a choice pre and post consciously. Because whether our decisions in life are based off of unconscious wounds or active awareness, and also my storage was full, so I'm starting this over. I hope everything's working okay. I'm not. Currently in a rainforest where there's gators and bobcats and snakes. That's an active choice that I chose. That's a conscious choice that I chose. I chose to be here because I'm a hypervigilant person and I'm trying to overcome my fears, and also I needed alone time. Murderers come to places like this. Me? I don't murder. I just love, baby. Okay, I'll stop looking around like there's something to be found. There's nothing to be found but silence within. Yeah, I refuse to be a victim of circumstance. So before you're like, what about circumstance and life circumstance? Yeah, those matter and those cut deep. I know very much so about circumstance and about feeling like life is not as fair to you that it might be to the next person. And so what do you do with that, but suffer a little bit. That's very real, and that's a very human thing to experience. And there's absolute truth in there, and you can't run from that. But a thing I like to remind myself is that life exists within life. So of course things are going to be possible. And something that kind of gives me a little bit of my power back to circumstance is reminding myself that if life trusts me with such great pain, then life must also trust me with such great gifts, opportunities, life. Because in pain, you learn so much compassion, and you learn so much resilience, and you grow so much through the cracks of concrete. And from that place, you are an absolute powerhouse for change. And I just don't want any of us to allow suffering to take that deep knowing from us. Whatever you believe in is absolutely honest to you and true for you. And where I personally find myself rooted in my beliefs is that I totally signed up for this life. In fact, I once spent 10 days in total silence. No phone, none of my comforts that make me feel like I have a sense of identity or security. And for each of those 10 days, I meditated for 7 to 11 hours. I ate very light, and I learned so much about myself there, and about how little we need, and about how much we are when you take away all of the reactions we have to pain and life and suffering and joy and love and things that make us feel good, or things that make us feel not good. And while I was in there, I learned how important it is to become clear. Because when you're clear, you can really listen to the message that life has to offer you. Life always has a very unique and special melody waiting for your ears only. And so it's up to us to become quiet enough and honest enough and curious enough and brave enough to listen so we can write life the lyrics in return. And when I gave myself the opportunity to listen, I was shown a past life. In a past life, I had been in a temple, a center similar to the temple center that I was at in my 10 days of silence. And I had been meeting with my guru slash teacher who was giving me my next mission for this life. And I was specifically told that in your next life, you will be the torchliner. And it's a term that I'd never heard before in this life. But in the dream, he explained to me that I am meant to be someone who burns the pain and lights the way. And looking back on my entire generation of family that comes before me, every single person has been in such devastating and deep pain, and so have I. But deep, 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 deep in the marrow of my bones, I always keep faith. No matter what I go through, I always keep faith. That doesn't mean that I don't get confused and anxious and unrest. I absolutely do, because I am so painfully, tragically, beautifully human. But I never lose my faith. And from that point, it makes me understand that I was given this mission in life because life could trust me with it. And so the possibilities are endless as to why we experience the lives that we experience, and the pain that we experience, or the joy that we experience. Sometimes these are missions that are gifted to us because life trusts us enough to act them out. And other times we perhaps consciously sign up for them because we want to experience what it's like to experience life from that standpoint, whatever standpoint you find yourself at in life. Perhaps you were just curious to learn something, be someone, love someone, hate someone, and learn. So wherever you're at in life, I really invite you to trust the unfolding. Everything that is currently here is so present, and yet it will rise and pass away before you even know it. Hello. Do I smell like shit? Can't bring a Middle Eastern to the rainforest. I'm just gonna sweat out all my ancestors. They're gonna smell like shit. Hi. Oh, he's landing on my fly. Or on my bee. That's not a fly, buddy. I know you think that's your part. You're eating me. You're literally... Oh, no. Anyways. Yeah. Pain is so real. And it, like, seriously hurts. But what hurts more is identifying with that pain and just living from a place of survival and this deep fear that life has it out for you and that you're not allowed to know peace. When you make peace with your specific life path, you will see the absolute gift in it. And I'm not saying from that point on everything will become all rainbows and butterflies and luxuries and money and a life that you think you want, but life will become exactly what you need because life trusts you enough to live out the exact path that you are meant to live out, specifically, uniquely, divinely as you. So trust it. Live it. Breathe it. Know it. Be confused. Beg the universe for answers. Cry for change. But when your inner storm has passed, you will always, always remember you know exactly why you're here. You can feel it so deep in your heart, so deep in the seat of your soul, you can feel it. So be curious enough to follow it and to be persistent and diligent, because I promise you, you were going to get knocked off your path so many countless times. But that's so normal. And so before you shame yourself, just become aware that you've gotten knocked off your feet a little bit, but that you are devoted to getting right back up and following it again and again and again. as many times as you have to. Life and all the people that you will meet on the way, and all the things that you will feel and experience on the way, are so excitingly waiting for you. So all you gotta do is listen. Love you. Literally, where am I going? Oh my god, I have a bug bite in my ass crack. I can feel it with every booty jiggle.